everybody, it's Ravenflower again. Alright, as you can see, I have a new fabulous background. Isn't this nice? Look at that. You can see me full force. I don't have to turn some awkward angle like this to like, so you guys don't have to see my bed in the background. Anyhow, so my husband came up with this, groovy plan here, and look at how pretty. Look at the colors in this thing. I love it. I love it. It's new bed spread. I love it. Okay, I put a thing out there to ask Raven questions. Ask me anything. So I'm here with my little questions. Look at this business. Can you see this? Look at all these questions. Can't probably. Oh, ooh, questions. Questions from ya all. Okay, let me set you back up so you're all funky here. All right, there you go. I look like an old woman when I do this. Trying to look with my glasses. Oh my goodness, you guys are probably going to hear a lot of like pinging and dinging because it is giveaway day for the 500 subscriber giveaway, and everybody is getting their videos and their comments in at the very last minute, and so we're like gangbusters today. I mean, there's just been a whole lot of entries, which I'm kind of sort of shocked. I'm like, all right, well, let's do it then. So here we go. We're gonna get to these questions. Please, disclaimer, I sometimes don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm still figuring it out myself. I sometimes what works for me may not work for you. So you got to find your own path and you got to find your own way. So that being said, let's move on. So Jessica Greenlee, she says, what are your thoughts on candle magic as far as like coordinating colors with spells? I do a lot of candle work, and it's just just wondering what others think about it. Blessed be. Okay, so if there's anybody out there who would like to respond to Jessica, please do so. Jessica, for me, I love candle magic. I am a candle magic gal. I guess, you know what's interesting is that I've always been a candle magic gal. I have been lighting candles for certain things for a very, very long time. I'm trying to turn this up because you may not be able to see me. Can you see me now? Does it matter? Is it worse? I don't know. Okay. So candles, been doing that for a very long time. I do use certain candles for certain things. Like there's always the standbys or the go-tos, white candles for protection, clearing, that kind of stuff. Black candles for release negativity and that stuff. I mean, just the basics. I have this book and I have several others, but let me just briefly talk to you about color correspondences real quick. Jet black, so protection, ward negativity, remove hexes, spirit contact, night, the universe, truth, remove discord or confusion, binding for spell work. So that's black. And then the white, Lady and the Lord together ritual candle. I don't use it for that. Full moon magics, absolutely. Purity, protection, truth, meditation, peace, sincerity, justice, and to ward off doubt and fear. So as I'm doing any type of spell work, I always have a black and a white candle going. That is just something I do. I do pink for like friendship, emotional love, goodwill, caring, that type of thing. I generally use blue, light blue, and sometimes dark blue depending on the severity of healing, but for healing spells. Green is usually for like new beginnings or for financial stability. Let's see what else. Brown is another one for actually for animal. Brown here is listed earth riches, endurance, animal health, steadiness, houses, homes, physical objects, uncertainties, special favors, and influence of friendships. I'm like, I don't know if I have to influence friendships much, but there you go. Gray is another one that I also do, and it's other world travel, vision quest, veiling, and neutralization or neutralizing. I do a lot of work with purple and lavender. Lavender, spiritual development, psychic growth, divination, and other world. I can't say divination. All right, purple, power, spirit. Do you see the thing moving? Because there is a Siggy kitten under here trying to get into my cloth, into my screen. You little turkey. I see you. I see you down there. You scoot away. Okay, what was I saying? Purple. Purple, spiritual development, intuition, ambition, healing, wisdom, progress, business, spirit, communication, protection, occultism, self-assurance, influence, higher ups. Apparently, I need to purple it up because my higher ups need some adjusting. Indigo. I attribute indigo as a dark deep blue, but maybe some purpley in there. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm thinking more periwinkle. Anyhow, that's meditation, spirit, communication, karma workings, learned ancient wisdom, neutralize baneful magic, and word slander. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, so maybe that will help you a little bit with the with that. Okay, next question. This is probably going to be like a 2 or 3 parter because there's a lot of questions, and I don't think anybody's going to want to watch me for a full-on hour. So here we go. Debbie Dunaway. I found a spell to keep a circle opened all the time. What's your thoughts about that? Is it even possible? Okay. Debbie, I don't know. Honestly, I thought about this when I saw it. I'm like, wow, that's an excellent question. I've heard of it. I have not done it. Now, when doing spell work, I think I've touched on this in a couple of videos, but doing spell work, like I have spell work out in the yard, but because it is so blasted hot out there, I haven't done any spell work in the yard since early spring, or I would say late spring. So I'm going to say May. It's been a while since I've been out there. So when things start cooling down and I go back out there into my garden and whatnot, I'm going to want to do a formal circle opening so that I'm creating that, that force field, that space. And then I will probably close my circle. I close the circle because, because aren't we supposed to? Siggy, for the love of Pete, what are you doing down here? She's all up in it. Little turkey. Okay, so closing the circle. You want to make sure that you're protected. You want to make sure that you're protected. And we all deal with different things and different magics, and it can get tricky for some. So in places that you aren't familiar with, you're going to want to open and you're going to want to close. And that is mainly for your own protection. And I would love to read from the book a little bit on how that is, but there's an opening circle ceremony and a closing circle ceremony, and it's quite casting circle, open circle. Okay, opening the circle. Gosh, I want to give this to you like right away, this information. I may look that up for you in a couple of different places, and that way you can, oh, wait a minute. Circle casting notes. Sorry. Dead silence. Dead air. Okay, it doesn't say. Okay, so then I'm going to go with, all right, in my space, in my altar space that's in my house, I'm always using it. So I have opened and closed and opened and closed and opened and closed and opened and closed, that I pretty much have created a force field. And the more that you do stuff, protection wise. You know, I do monthly cleansings of my home, of my property, of all that, and so does my husband as well. So we feel that inside we already have our circle, we already have our barrier. Outside, there's so many other elements coming in, and especially if we're somewhere else, we feel the need to open and properly close a circle. Now, what that means, open and possibly, you know, open and close the circle in a proper fashion, that's where it gets a little tricky. There is a 100% Wiccan way to do it. There is another way, pagan wise, to do it. There's cultural, you know, differences on how to do it. You got to find what's right for you. Got to do that. All right. I will look up some stuff for you, Miss Debbie, and stay tuned because I will make sure that you get that. Oh my goodness. Okay, moving on. Jessica Quinn. Miss Jessica Quinn says, let me put on my glasses because that would be helpful, because poor Jessica doesn't want me to read her stuff. So Jess Quinn. It's not Jessica, it's Jess Quinn. Okay. I'd like to learn different methods of protection and clearing out negative energy when sage smudge isn't enough. Okay. I gotcha. Your best friend for that, sage is fabulous. Sage is great. Sage is great. No. But you can also use something called, oh, let me get it over here. I have it in a little bowl here. This is my stick of Palo Santo. Palo Santo is like the super mamma jamma of smudging. It's old school, like old world, old school. This is the stuff. It's very powerful. You may want to use that. Let's see, let me go back to your question again, so make sure I read this correctly. Sage just isn't enough. Protection, methods of protection. Okay, methods of protection. I'm going to track down a video of sunshine morning rays for you, because I implemented this in my own household, and getting back to doing the whole house cleanse. My husband and I go from room to room to room to room, and I generally ask God and Goddess, you know, please protect our household and those that inhabit it, so that it covers myself, my husband, our kids, our pets. Please protect us mentally, physically, and spiritually. Let nothing, let's see, I have this whole thing written down, and when I go room to room, I sort of like get in a trance. I'm going to say trance, so I'm not freaking y'all out, but you know, I get in the zone, and so it just sort of flows out naturally, and I repeat it for each room as my husband is doing all of the smudging. We generally wear crystals as we're doing it. I've got a big Mamma Jamma crystal right here. This is something that my husband gave me. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful quartz. He has one himself. I put this around my neck. He puts his around his neck, and we go room to room, and we do our business. So basically, I say something to the effect of, Lord and Lady, God and Goddess, you know, we ask for your aid in protecting our house and all those that inhabit it, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Let nothing come into our home that can hurt or harm us. Let's see, mentally, physically, or spiritually. Let nothing here that is good for us, you know, kind of be gone. And I mean, there's more beautiful ways to say it. I'm not that person that can speak so beautifully and eloquently. It has never been that way. I'm just off the cuff, shoot from the hip kind of gal. So we do that, and we go through room to room to room. Now, after we cleanse, we also make sure that, she's back down there again. We also make sure that we start from the top and we go to the bottom, and then we go out then we go from the back of the house to the front of the house and out the door. Lady Grave Dancer has a fabulous video on, I believe it's holy tobacco water, or, you know, and you can see that you can seal that. As he is doing the smudging, my husband smudging around, Or I also have blessed salt. And Siggy says, meow. Do I have blessed salt? Yes, I do. So I have blessed salt. And I am putting that in the windowsill, and I'm like, none may enter who wish to harm. None may enter to wish to harm. And we've gone and gotten little mirrors. There's these little mirrors, and this is where Sunshine Morning Roy's video comes into play. I'm gonna track down Tequila's video and Sunshine's video because two of them kind of work together, and you may be able to implement this whole thing, you know, all three of our parts here, into something that might work for you and take it. I'll try to get those links in the down bar to help you, or if you would like to email me or whatnot, I can find you somehow and get you this information so that we're not cluttering up the down bar. So anyhow, there's a way to seal it. So these little mirrors, Trina, goodness gracious, it's been a day. These little mirrors, you put them up, you kind of like lick them and stick them. So you put the mirror facing outwards in each of your windows. So that way, you know, spirits tend to like to look at themselves. So they will kind of get mystified and kind of not come in because you're also shooting all that negative energy or anything else out away from your house. That's something that you may want to take a look at. All right. I think I've covered that. I think I answered your question. There are lots of other things. Rosemary oil is a good one. Dragon's blood is a good one. Frankincense is my go-to for damn near everything. Let's see what else. You can implement those in a smudge. You can implement those in some sort of oil for you that you may need to wear in order to feel more protected. It depends on what you're doing and how you're working it. Okay, so that was Jess. Now we go to Riley. She says, any advice on how to start a book of shadows, mirrors, and what is your absolutely favorite thing about being a witch? Oh, then she also asks me, because, okay, Riley's got lots of questions, y'all. She got lots of questions here. She got 3 questions. And she says, what are your thoughts on Hedge Witchery? Well, Riley, I looked up Hedge Witchery because I had not heard the term, but found out that I am one, basically. So Hedge Witch comes from old school England. Notice that I went straight to that question because I was excited about it. All right. Hedge Witch, old school England, when they had to build a hedge around their property in order for them to do, you know, sabbats and drawing down the moon and bonfires and dancing naked, whatever it is they're going to do. Okay, so they do all that. And they also are working in the garden, moon gardening, you know, magic gardening, however you want to refer to it. Taking herbs from their garden and making oils and incense and things like that. They're healing type witches, I believe. And yeah, like quite a few of them are us. So how do I feel about it? I guess I feel pretty good about it because looking up the definition, I totally am one. And being a descendant of that area makes sense. So, back to your other questions here, Miss Riley. Any advice on how to start a book of shadows or mirror? I don't know what a book of mirrors is, but shadows, mirrors, I kind of get what you're saying. I'm reaching. I got something over here I can show you. I have seen. I don't have a book of shadows. I am starting a book of shadows. I found this awesome book at Michael's. I was excited about it because it has a elastic band, but it doesn't go around this way, it goes around this way. Because then, if you've noticed 3-ring binders and all that other stuff, they sort of snap in the middle and they're just not very efficient for what I want them to do. So that one just goes towards the back, and look at this, and it lays flat. Okay, this is more like a sketchbook, if you will, and I can put all kinds of stuff in here however I want to do it. I can draw pictures that mean things to me. I can draw diagrams of the wheel or symbols or any of that other stuff. I have a lot of information in this book. You can tell that I use it, right? There's stuff sticking out of it all over the place. I've got elemental invocation here that I want to transfer that. I've got all different kinds of, oh gosh, runic tables. There's symbols. Can you see this stuff? There's all of this. There's rituals that I do like, and there's rituals that I don't like that I won't be transferring over. But even, look, the witch's alphabet right there. Something just fell out. Got something in here. Calling of corners. I got all kinds of stuff in here. Basic shrine, altar setups. I got all kinds of stuff in here. I intend on taking a lot of this information and then other information that I found and putting it in here, so that I'm not going from 6 books trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing. So, does that answer your question? So that's how I'm making that happen. And I kind of like that. That way I can put it all together, and I can kind of tab it so that I can just be rituals or sabbats or recipes or whatnot, so that I can organize it in a way that my brain works. God bless America, because who knows how my brain works. All right. Oh, what's my favorite thing about being a witch? Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Okay, favorite thing about being a witch. I don't know if I can pick one favorite thing. I like many aspects of being a witch. I enjoy the community a great deal, learning things, learning new things that I always had questions about, and finally getting the answers to is awesome. I enjoy really working with herbs and in my garden, and like the whole process from seed to harvest, and then using that in oils, lotions, bath salts, scrubs, whatever, in order to give to give healing magic. I'm sorry, there's somebody. Oh, okay. Because it is because it's the night that the giveaway is happening, there's lots of little things popping up on my screen. So if you see me looking up in odd things, I'm like, what is this? What is this? Okay, so that's that. I've got room for, let's see, we are at 22 minutes. I've got room for one more question, and that is from, let's see. That is from Madam Luna. I made sure to say Madam Luna, so you know. Miss Madam Luna says, what is your absolute favorite crystal and why? My favorite crystal. I have 2 favorite crystals. Where did it go? It was here. I put it, aha. I have 2 favorite crystals. And well, I should say 2 types of crystals that are my absolute favorite. It's really difficult to pick one. Really difficult. But when I am in a rock shop or a crystal shop or any of that other stuff, I am immediately drawn to moonstone. Like, you know, like Roadrunner in the cartoons, like phew. So moonstone I love. I am devastated. I cannot convey this enough. I am devastated. If you ever watched the video of me and Lady Gravedancer talking about, I think it was a Witchy Wednesday talk or whatever, and we're talking about hereditary witches versus learned witches, there was a ghost voice that got picked up, and it was on my side of the camera. So we slow it all down, and we were talking about our stressful day and whatnot, and in that video, she's just like, boy, I can't even listen to the radio. It's like, oh, just please shut up, right? And she was talking about the radio. So in the video, when you listen back to it, and maybe I'll put that in the down bar as well. Oh gosh, note to self, lots of stuff to put in the down bar. I always forget, and I'm sorry. So if I do forget, please remind me, and I'll get it there. But if you listen in the video, she's just like, oh, I just can't even deal with it, so, you know, shut up. And so something very clearly says, okay, I will go. After that happened, the very next morning, and I put my moonstone, you've seen my moonstone. I've got earrings, it's a garnet, and then it's like a round moonstone. And it was fairly big, it was probably about the size of my nail. And I loved it so much. It was a gift from my husband, and I have matching earrings, and I still have the earrings, but the moonstone on my necklace is gone. I have not seen it since, and I am devastated. So whoever is listening, please give me back my moonstone. Aside from that, rant gone, I also have labradorite. Isn't that funny that those two sort of kind of are night stones? I don't know if you can see this real well, but I've got some really good shine on that. Can you see it? Little beautiful flash there. This is a palm stone that I got from the Sage Goddess, and I am a part of one of the I forget what she calls it, but it's like a little subscriber. It's an insider club, so when she puts things up, this doesn't go out into her original shop. Ooh, you can see the flash right there. That looks beautiful. Oh. I don't know. I love the feldspar in a lot of the stones. Like, so even this, you know, you see that flash, that I think it's related quartz. So I'm still learning, so I got lots to say, and it's probably all wrong. Anywho, this guy, labradorite and moonstone, are probably my very, very favorites. So this I use in meditation. I put it in my left hand because that's where it needs to be, because that's how energy flows from your left to your right. And I use this a lot in meditation and, you know, grounding work, get myself back up and going. Okay, so that, I think, is, I just got the message that food is here, so I need to go down and eat. Now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 questions yet to go. So I tried to answer as many as I could in a 30-minute video. So I will probably do this a little bit later and keep asking the questions, and we'll just keep going, and I'll try to answer the best I can. If I don't have the answer, I will try to find the answer for you, or I will get you a link to maybe somebody who has already touched on the topic. All right, so blessed be y'all. Hearts, stars, and clovers. You guys have a great night, great evening, great morning, great whatever. You just have a great one.